Vaginoplasty.
Yes.
Here we are.
We start in epic montage.
And we get a first time ever Alice Jughead dual narration.
Oh, yes. They're co-writing. Juggy's writing his novel, and Alice is writing a scathing article to be published in the Riverdale Register.
Yes, because she has indeed been invited back post Hal revealing incest gate.
The big news that everybody's kind of reeling from is the reveal that we had last episode that it was in fact Clifford Blossom that murdered Jason.
Yes.
And right at the top of this episode, we get the reason why.
Yes. And it's that it was going to be discovered that the maple barrels held heroin. So those drugs that we saw were heroin. Mayor McCoy is shouting at Sheriff Keller about this because she's like, how did we not know that there was heroin being transported throughout our lovely little town, Riverdale?
Our hamlet.
So, well, Sheriff Keller, he's on the job and he's trying to figure out where the heroin was going.
Locally. Who's distributing local? Because there's extra pressure about all of this rooting things out. You guessed it. It's the 75th anniversary of the town of Riverdale.
And they're holding a jubilee.
So Sheriff Keller's on the case, as he's wont to be.
Even though he doesn't really ever find anything out. It's always just these children.
But he's at the jail.
Hanging on the bars.
Interrogating
FP and giving him basically a plea deal where if FP gives him names of people that FP knows were running heroin in Riverdale, then he will lessen FP's sentence.
Yeah.
Which, like, I don't know how that works without a judge, but go off.
FP is like, 1, the serpents only deal weed, so you're a dummy. 2, I'm no snitch.
Yeah.
I was like,
and he's like, I'm like, that's not gonna, you know what? That's not gonna look better for you, but here we are.
But here you are. Also, Jughead's just like in the room for this. So
oh, that's right.
That's fun, I guess, that he's just getting to sit in on his father's interrogation. But
yeah, it feels illegal, but here
we are.
Fred and Archie are pontificating about how they thought Riverdale was a different town than it is.
Yes.
They thought they knew Riverdale, but they really don't know.
Not at all.
And then we get the Pembroke where Hermione is getting super excited about Hiram being home.
Yes.
Because he is, remember, going to be released soon.
Imminently. And
Veronica's not having it.
She's like, oh, we're trying to make things nice for that felon, huh?
Yeah.
And Hermione's like, Diva, get it together.
Like, Daddy's coming home. And Hermione will indeed be really annoying about it this whole episode.
Yeah.
And then we get Betty crashing out because her family, post Polly being home and Hal being home, is acting like everything is just like chiller.
Yeah.
And Polly's not carrying, incest twins.
Yeah. So then we go to school.
And Mayor McCoy whisks Betty and Archie
into Principal Weatherby's office.
The reason why she whisked them in here is so Archie could sing at the Jubilee and Betty could give a speech.
And
orate, perhaps. Because they are the heroes of Riverdale. Even though, what the fuck was Archie doing? Nothing.
No, absolutely nothing. And Betty brings this up. She's like, hey, not to be a hater, but like, why are you celebrating me and Archie? Why are you bringing us into the office when it was really me and Jughead that solved the case?
And Mayor McCoy's like, well, I mean, it wouldn't be a great look if I had Jughead speaking at the Jubilee.
And yeah, Mayor McCoy and Principal Weatherby are like, so actually, we're trying to root out those dirty serpents.
So actually, we don't care.
Yeah.
No Jughead, no FP, fuck you.
Yeah.
And Betty's like, okay, great. So they go to lunch and Betty is like, oh, why? Like, these people, they just hate the serpents. And Jughead's like, listen, I'm just going to pick my battles at this point. Like, I don't really give a shit. I feel like I don't belong here anyways.
Yeah.
And Betty's like, what the hell? And then Ronnie's like, okay, guys, I have an announcement. Me and Archie are together. Yeah, I know you guys were asking. I know everybody wasn't, But yeah, we have kissed a couple times. And it's pretty serious.
And Archie's kind of looking at her like, now, Diva?
Now, Diva?
Now? Actually,
Ooh.
now, Diva? And Betty's like, actually, Ronnie, thank you for being transparent. It's totally fine. I'm with Jughead now. Like,
it's fine.
It doesn't really matter.
And they do, to their credit, Archie and Veronica at different points do check up on her.
Yes.
And be like, hey, so are you actually cool with this?
Because last time Yellow for Friendship happened, you weren't fine. And then you crashed out.
Yeah. And she's like, no, I actually am fine this time. Like, I'm with Jughead. You guys do your little thing. Have fun.
Yeah. Cheryl is going to come with a vengeance.
Yes. Penelope was like kind of going crazy on Cheryl and being like, you can't stay home because your brother and your father are dead. Fuck you.
Yeah, because your father murdered your brother.
And then killed himself.
Like yesterday.
You actually have to go to school.
And Cheryl is like, oh my God, what? And Penelope is like, yeah, maybe your dad actually had the right idea, like going to the great beyond. And
the great hereafter.
And Cheryl is like, oh. Noted. So Cheryl's at school, dressed in all black, holding her HBIC shirt, and who's to walk into the girls' locker room but Ronnie. So Cheryl is like, my diva. The vixens are out in the gym for you, and as a gift, I pass over the HBIC shirt. And Ronnie's like, what? No, like, I know I won the dance off, but like, no need for this. Like,
why are we throwing away like your HBIC shirt? Like, I thought that meant a lot to you.
Yeah.
And Cheryl's like,
a lot to all of us.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It means a lot to all of us. And Cheryl's like, it's your time now. And Ronnie is obviously like, ooh, girl, are you okay?
Yeah.
But Cheryl is not having it. She's like, yeah, I've shed enough tears for Blossom Men. We get a little scene where Betty writes an expose on everybody using the serpents as a scapegoat.
Because after the Mayor McCoy whiskification, she was like, Mayor McCoy's covering this up, the sheriff is covering this up. Like, we need to remember the fact that, like, Clifford Blossom's the one that actually murdered his own son and was in charge of the heroin empire. So, actually, everybody's, like, freaking it. We need to tell the truth. I'm going to publish something in the Register that my parents own, infamously.
Yes. And Alice loves the story.
She's like, it's your best work.
But she's like, I will not be posting this.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, because everybody is already going after the serpents right now. Like there's been like an increase in crime over there, and I don't need you being a target.
Yeah.
Betty does not listen and goes ahead and publishes her story in the Blue and Gold.
Online in print tomorrow morning.
Exactly.
She's telling this to Ronnie.
And then we get another scene where we're at the Andrews house and a social worker is there.
Oh. What's she doing there? Juggy walks in with Arch. They're holding hands. They're kissing.
They are.
And Fred is like, hey, boy, sorry to interrupt, but this is Jughead's social worker. She sees me unfit because I had a DUI like 5 years ago. So,
which, like, okay, Fred lore.
But also, the tea is Fred's also going through major financial whoopsie-doopsies because Hermione.
Because Hermione is getting ready for her man to come back.
Hi, Ram.
And exactly. And she went ahead and just fired all the serpents that were working.
Yeah, she was like, this is a
unilaterally.
Bad look. She was like, this is a bad... she was like, this is a bad look because, like, they're being investigated for heroin smuggling. Also, I can't have Hiram, my mob boss husband that was in jail for embezzlement, connected with any crimes.
Yes.
So,
and he also doesn't want to be near you, Fred. So
what if we bought you out?
And Fred's like, I guess I'll think about it. I don't know.
Yeah, he's like, write me up an offer. But this is in fact Andrew's construction.
So don't get it twisted.
Yeah. But that's why Freddie is going through big financial trouble. Apparently DUI carries a lot of weight. So the social worker is like, Jughead, we're gonna move you to a foster family on the south side. Also, you have to switch schools.
And that's happening at the end of the week. Love ya. Bye. And everybody's like, oh.
Archie is not having it. Juggy's like freaking it.
Yeah. And so Archie immediately goes to the jail, talks to FP.
Yeah.
And is like, dude, they're going to take Jughead away.
You got to say some names.
And FP's like, listen, I haven't done a lot good in my time, but Jughead's a good guy, and I'm not saying anything because I need to answer to the crimes that I've committed.
Which,
actual crimes that I've committed.
Actual murder cover-up that I did do.
And FP tells Archie that Jughead will try to pull away.
He'll go
But
into that shell of his.
He will. And what you have to do is you just got to take a sledgehammer to that shell. You just got to break in, and you have to keep him. You have to hold on to him, and you have to keep him.
Archie banging on Jughead's shell till it breaks.
Exactly. Shatters.
And Archie's in.
Archie's in. He's so in. Ronnie and Jughead, they're at school.
And
they're at lunch.
And Ronnie is like, hey. And Jughead's like, what the fuck do you want?
Yeah, because Jughead infamously, like, doesn't
super love Ronnie.
Yeah,
He's just like, not
he's just like, who are you?
Like,
why do we care?
Like, she came like approximately like 5 months ago.
Mm-hmm. So then they're sitting at lunch together by themselves.
So our significant others are dating. They're also like our best friends. So no.
We're dating besties, and we should also be besties.
Dating.
No, we are dating besties.
We are dating besties.
So we should be besties.
Yeah. Ronnie's giving quad. Who should walk up? But
Cherelle Blossom. And what does she do? She goes, I'm sorry for pummeling you, Jughead. Girl.
She got one slap in.
Yeah.
But also,
and she's like, here, take my spider brooch. It'll fetch you a pretty penny.
At the pawn shop.
And it's like,
whoa.
Okay, rude. But
very rude.
But also, why is she getting rid of her iconic spider brooch? Because that was like a big part of her character.
It's a massive part of her character. And Ronnie's also like, okay, HBIC shirt, spider brooch. Cheryl seems to be gifting away all of her like significant belongings.
So like, what's up with that?
Yeah.
But before they can really get into like what is going on,
Jughead kind of like pockets it, and he's like, so Cheryl, what?
And then they get oh my god, you gotta go see Betty's locker.
Oh my god, what happened? Dun, dun, dun.
Copies of her article with pig's blood on them and written, Go to hell, serpent slut.
There's a Betty doll hung up off of the lockers.
With the ponytail. Love it.
Betty is like, it's fine, it's nothing. And she like starts going to tear it down. And like Archie, Juggy are there at this point, and they kind of like hold her back.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, so this isn't God.
Yeah.
So like apparently our peers, our classmates are pro.
They're pro or anti-serpent.
They're anti-serpent, anti-you, Betty.
Mm-hmm.
They're pro FP Jones did it.
Yes. And so then after school, after this debacle, Jughead's like, hey, Betty dearest, I'm kind of worried I'm causing this shit to happen.
Yeah.
So like, I think I am going to go to the South Side school, but like, because I feel like maybe I'm causing all this shit.
Like, you'll take some less heat.
No, baby. No, don't do that. At the Pembroke, Hermione is watering a black orchid, which I would just like to say they don't need that much water, so calm down. And Veronica comes in and is like, oh my god, you're so annoying. And like literally that's that's the energy. And then Hermione's like, so you and that Andrews boy are getting pretty close, huh?
What if you like got Archie to talk to Fred about the buyout and can help convince Fred to just take the deal, so like he's out of the picture, like we can have lodge construction and it's fine. And Ronnie's like, you want me to like sexually seduce and manipulate my boyfriend? And
Hermione's like, well, as long as you're in control. By the way, she started doing her makeup and her hair differently in this episode, and she looks fucking spectacular.
Oh, trust, because Hiram's coming back.
Yeah, she's full mob wifing it, and I'm just obsessed with it, honestly. But it's annoying. But we still love it.
Yeah, and Ronnie's like, I'm not gonna do that, Mom. Also, that's crazy.
And then we go to the Cooper house.
And
Betty's like, mother.
Alice is like, Betty, what the hell? You published the story?
And you took Polly to school. That was side note. She also took Polly to school.
And Betty is like, Mom, I am tired of all of us pretending like we're fine. A literal like incest scandal, murder, father, like family patricide just happened. Like, no, we need to address this. Like, what the fuck happened when FP was talking at dinner about like you and Dad having a fight at the homecoming dance all of those years ago? What was that about, huh?
And Alice is like,
character or something.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, and Betty's like, I won't stop.
I won't stop.
She sits Betty down and is like, hey, so that fight that me and your dad had, I just told him that I was pregnant. Oh. And that's the fight that we had when he was like, so you're going to handle it, right?
And she's like,
oh,
whoa. And what happens is Hal inters her at the Sisters of Quiet Mercy. Mercy. Sorry.
Just like Polly, Hal sent Alice to the Sisters of Quiet Mercy to discreetly have the baby. A private adoption was set up, and then Alice moved on with her life. So Betty has a secret brother that's just been out in the world. Betty goes to school the next day, dumps this information on everyone, and Veronica's just like, so he's in his like mid-20s now? I bet he's so hot.
And it's like, oh my God, okay.
Oh my God. Jughead is not at school. He started his first day at Southside High. There's metal detectors. There's a payphone. There's graffiti on all the walls.
Blue filter.
Yeah, it's a scary school.
It's a scary place.
It's a scary place. And Jughead's calling to be like, don't worry, Betty. I belong here. And Betty's like...
And we gotta go get him. We gotta get our man, all three of our man.
And so they run, like
literally skidding.
Like there's an active like fire or something that they have to prevent.
They're like actually like flying all over the place, running, billowing things. Yeah. It's like a lot. They're doing a lot. Cheryl's not doing well.
She is
setting out the dress, the white outfit she was wearing
when JJ died.
And she's looking absolutely gothic on her bed.
Oh, she's sprawled out. She is leg up, tears flowing down the face. We've all been there.
We have literally all been here.
We've all had this moment. And so Cheryl is not doing super well. We'll remember she's given away multiple of her belongings. Red flag. She's laying out sentimental garb that relates directly to mourning and death. Red flag.
And her mother has straight up said maybe Clifford did the right thing by killing himself.
So we're at Southside High. The gang has finally made it. They're running through the metal detectors. Archie is like, where would he be? And Betty's like, cafeteria. How she knows?
Because he's always eating those burgers.
So they see Jughead with a group of miscreants about him.
Gang members.
Oh,
what could Jughead can't be holding his own.
And then he's giggling.
He's giggling. He's smiling more than probably any of them have ever seen him smile. He's banging on the fucking table. He's cracking people.
And all the people around him are like, Jughead, we love you. And Betty's like, oh.
Betty's like, oh my God.
Oh my God. So actually, when he was saying, I think I belong here, it wasn't in like an emo pull away way.
It was like in an actually like, hey, I actually belong here.
Like, these are low-key my people.
Like you guys are high-key, not my people.
Yeah. And so they all kind of give him a freakum look and they're like, oh, Jughead. And he's like, oh, what are you guys doing here? And they're like, we came to save you. And he's like,
I'm chilling? Like, what's up?
What? Yeah. So they go outside. Betty and him have a little one-on-one, and they're kind of talking just like, so.
Like, are we still gonna be okay when you go to this school? Like what's the deal there? And Archie's kind of wistfully looking at them talking.
And he's like, isn't that great for them? They're soulmates.
Whoa. Like, guys, they've only been dating for a little bit.
Also, like, rewatching this, it's like they are all sophomores in high school. That's kind of cray.
Yeah.
To be like, oh, no, I was made for you and only you.
At 15 years old.
And, like, so Ronnie.
Very that energy.
Ronnie hears Archie and she's like, huh, you're pretty wistful, Red. Are you, like, jealous?
Like, what's going on? And before they can really continue this conversation, Ronnie gets a text.
From Cheryl Blossom, thanks for trying. I'm going to be with Jason now. ...
Which, oh no.
Oh,
and
no.
Ronnie's like, guys, we have to go fucking right now to Sweetwater River.
She's like,
now.
Where would she be to be with Jason? The river. We have to run. So
they do.
And who's out in the middle of the iced over river?
Banging on the ice?
Trying to get it to crack? Cheryl is out there trying to KYS. KMS? K herself. The core four are there like, oh my god, we can't all run out on the ice because then it'll like get even like less integrity, like it'll start to crack. And Ronnie's yelling at Cheryl being like, wait, come to the edge, we'll figure this out together, like you're not alone, like ah. And so Cheryl like stands up, she looks back, plummets through the ice,
falls right through the ice. The current starts taking her. They are running, booking it towards her.
Windmilling his arms.
Like seriously, flailing. they were like booking it, which is good. None of them slip though.
None of them slip. But Archie does kind of fall in the snow, and we get this lovely like, I don't know, he's like frosted. Like
yeah, he is like a powdered sugar donut.
Archie starts cracking the ice as well.
Banging through the ice.
Punching it. It's starting to get bloody. That's how hard he's going.
And it's starting to get a lot of blood, like suspiciously too much blood, considering the wound he has is not that bad, but whatever.
Then we cut to under the ice. So Cheryl's vibing.
Cheryl is just chilling there, hair blowing in the freezing cold water. Eyes wide open. And what does she see? An apparition of her bullet hole in his forehead twin brother.
JJ is there. I like most JJ ghost scenes are with Cheryl.
Yes.
But yeah, this is our second one. So she sees the apparition.
She reacts. Never say that Madeline can't react.
Oh my god, acting is reacting. Back to Soviet filmmaking montage studies from last time.
Perfect.
It's the Kuleshov effect, I think.
Mm-hmm.
All that editing is reactions. So you could have like a frame of anyone's face and then insert something for them to react to, and you'll project on their like
face
reaction.
what they're actually reacting to.
Yeah, it's like perfect example here. We have Madeline looking. Shot. Reaction.
She's looking. And then, we get another shot, and he's reaching for her.
He's reaching for her.
His waterlogged hand reaching for her.
Waterlogged bullet hole.
She screams.
Freaks it.
She's freaking it.
She's freaking it. Archie's banging on the ice above her. She's losing all of her oxygen all at once.
Yeah, she's actually giving her oxygen away on a silver platter.
Yeah, and so Archie's big bloody. The ice cracks. He's finally gotten through, and he yoinks Cheryl up out of Sweetwater River.
And he pulls her out.
She's not breathing. He's doing CPR. He's doing compression.
He's doing CPR, probably the worst CPR I've ever seen.
It's like pretty bad.
2 pumps, and he breathes in her mouth like way too much.
Yeah. And you know what? I've had many a night like that.
No, exactly.
So,
but she's revived.
She spurts up water and she's fine.
And they are running, and he's carrying her princess style, and I'm like, okay, when's it gonna be my turn? So ginger shining board shorts guy, Archie, carries Cheryl out.
Hell yeah.
Very exciting.
Hell yeah. And where should she recover? Oh, in front of the crackling fire of the pinbrick with Ronnie.
Of course, her girlfriend. Come on, guys.
Ronnie pulls up and with a little hot cocoa, like,
hey, I know you tried to I know you literally just tried to kill yourself, but here's some hot chocolate.
We're in it together, Deebs. And then Hermione walks in knowing nothing, and she goes, what the fuck is that girl doing here? She's our arch nemesis. What the fuck? And Ronnie's like,
okay, Madre, we need to chill the hell out right now.
She got in an accident, and she needs like some time to be here. And
she needs to chill here.
Cheryl's like, I'll go home when I dry. And it's like, oh.
Ooh.
She should not be alone right now.
Yeah, she should not be at that house.
Oh, no.
And Ronnie's like, okay, I'm sorry. I gotta go to the Jubilee, like right now.
Why does she have to go to the Jubilee?
Like, girl, oh my God.
Yeah, but she does. She gets whisked off to the
literally
Jubilee
goes to the Jubilee.
With Hermione. And so Cheryl's left to her own devices back at Thornhill. Bad. But
Betty is freaking it.
Yeah.
About Jughead going to Southside High, not about the fact that Cheryl just
brother, or that Cheryl
tried to kill herself
in front of her.
But she's worried about Jughead and what their relationship is going to be like.
Yeah.
And
she's kind of like crying, and Alice walks in.
And actually comforts her.
It's like a
it's like
parallel,
like a reverse
pink,
of like the Perfection Pink, because Perfection Pink is still on that girl's lips and mine.
That's kind of the fuck of it all, because Alice is like nervous for the speech, and Betty's like, no, I'm just playing the part. I've just got my Perfection Pink on, but I am sad, like, internally that I have to, like, I'm worried about Jughead. I'm, like, sad that I have to put on this front. Like, Mom, what's going to happen? And she's like, don't worry, Deeves. You got it. I'm here for you.
Mm-hmm.
So then they go to the Jubilee.
Ronnie and Archie, they're smooching.
Oh, Archie has a little, like, cast on.
He does. It's actually really
cast.
cute. Yeah.
Quick cast. Archie's about to go on stage to do his little song and dance, his little goofy Magoo or whatever. And right. And he like can't strum the guitar quite right because he has a cast on. And Ronnie is like, you going with that old song? And he's like, yeah, I wanted to play the one about like that I wrote about my friends and like the murder and all the things we've been through, but Mayor McCoy's silencing me because of, you know, everything that's going on. And Ronnie's like, come here, you big lug. Were you like actually like jealous of Betty earlier when you like were looking at them? And Archie's like, no, I just wanted like what they have. They're like soulmates. I want to be that for you, Ronnie. Blah, blah, blah.
Josie walks in.
And
is like, my girl Ronnie told me that you guys saved my girl Cheryl. Yes. And let's just say you're singing your song now.
Let's just say you save a diva, you get to perform.
Exactly.
And honestly, I like those rules.
I really like those rules. I wish that's how the world works. Me too. So then we get him singing.
So Archie's
we all know how I feel about him singing. Valerie, 5,000 feet away from everybody else.
Poor Valerie. She's in the background of all of these scenes, not saying a word. Like, just kind of giving Archie, like, a distasteful look every once in a while. Because he's making out with Roddy in front of her. After she found out about his, like, teacher scandal.
It's
after
big.
all of this, like, murder stuff. Irregardless, Archie's doing his, like, transgressive song. It's kind of just, like...
We're
in it together.
Yeah.
We're so
I love you.
I'll be there. I'll try.
Okay, there's a spotlight on him and everything.
Yeah, and Mayor McCoy's in the back like, what are you doing? But everybody likes the song because also it's not anything. But everybody claps, and then it's Betty's turn.
And Betty starts delivering her speech, and she has sort of like a Peeta in Catching Fire moment. Peeta. Where he looks at the cards and then like...
Yeah, at District 11's victory tour.
Exactly.
Thank you very much. The rulogy.
It is.
Betty wanted Peeta Mullark rulogy nachos
so bad.
So
and she starts saying, you know, like, oh, blah blah, 75 years of Riverdale, and she's like, no.
Because then Juggy bursts through the door.
Scrumptious, might I add.
You can add it.
Yeah.
So then Betty's like, no, actually, guys, what the fuck? I'm Riverdale. We have to remember that. Riverdale is a place where I am. Archie Andrews is what Riverdale is. But you know who also is Riverdale? Jughead Jones, FP Jones. And the fuck of it all, Clifford Blossom was Riverdale. We need to start looking inward. There is a rift happening where we need to figure out what Riverdale actually is, and we need to root out the actual source of the problem, the Clifford Blossoms in this town.
Exactly. Could not have said it better myself.
And everybody clapped. And everybody gave her a standing O.
Fred goes up, inspired by Betty saying that they need to do the right thing, goes up and tells Hermione to fuck off.
Yeah, basically. He's like, actually, I won't be bought out. I have to stand up for what I believe in, which is, you know, like... Goodness.
And not you. Partner.
So Hermione kind of was like, I respect you.
Yeah. Jughead goes and talks to FP in jail.
Yes.
And FP says, I'm not taking that plea deal. I'm sorry, son. But you know what? You're going to be good with these foster parents. You're exactly where you belong.
And Jughead's like, yeah, they were kind of nice. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. And they kind of like he does a little like hair to Jughead through the cell bars.
Yes.
And then they're off to Pops.
And then the core four in one of the most... the wickedly talented Adele Dazeem. Archie's cast, it has 3 signatures on it.
Betty, Jughead, and Veronica's.
And they're cheersing their milkshakes. They're having
It's so cute.
the best time they've ever had in their lives. They're saliving. And, you know, this is honestly, I think, the epitome of the season.
It is almost the show.
Almost the show. Like, the core four solved a mystery. They're actually, like, coming together for goodness and to fight, like, the darkness in the town. And they're cheersing at Pops. Like, what else could you want? This was, like, heartwarming to me. I'm sorry.
It was. It really is. It's really pretty in my soul. Pretty.
In my eyes, this is where season 1 ends.
Yeah.
Everything else from the rest of this episode, which there's only like 10 minutes left of the episode.
It feels.
It's season 2.
Yeah, it's set up for season 2.
It's set up for season 2. And it starts crazy style. We're back at Thornhill.
Penelope comes in. She smells something strange.
Cheryl is standing with a candelabra in front of a roaring fireplace with a high-low asymmetrical white peplum gown.
Exactly.
She's cunting in front of the fire.
She is.
Penelope is like, Cheryl.
What is that?
And Cheryl goes, it's gasoline, mama.
The only way we can truly purify our sins is through fire.
And she chucks the candelabra onto the ground. Fire is catching. And when we burn,
you burn with us.
We cut to
the Believer montage. Now, the beginnings of the Believer montage.
Oh my god.
And if you weren't here, then you don't know. But Imagine Dragons' Believer, big song at the time.
Imagine Dragon these nuts
across your face.
So Archie and Ronnie are making out. They're getting hot and heavy at the Pembroke.
They're taking clothes off.
Yeah. Well, Archie's like, what about your mom? And Ronnie's like, she was mixing her reds and whites at the Jubilee. She'll be out all night.
She actually also says that she will be in the hands of Prince Valium.
Oh, right.
So she'll really be out until tomorrow morning.
So Ronnie like grabs Archie's hair and she's like, we've had this day in us since the first time we met, Archie Kens.
Like, what are you talking about?
What that means, I'm unsure. I get the sentiment, but like...
What a weird way to say that.
Weird way to say that. So then they're boinking.
And as you all know, Believer does have like a at the beginning of each.
We should do it. Believer.
This is the slam.
This is the slam.
And if you don't know about it, I'm sorry. You obviously weren't me. Because the imprint this has on my soul.
You have a slam-shaped hole in your
I'm
heart.
serious. Jughead slams Betty against the trailer.
So we're at FP's trailer. They're in the kitchenette. Jughead launches Betty into the kitchen cabinet.
Things move
against the countertop.
She's taking her shirt off. Things are crazy.
They're like absolutely necking on this.
They're about to freak it. They're about to freak it on this counter.
On this counter, and then no. And
hello.
Jughead and Betty like immediately like shoot to the door. Jughead is like, "Is that your mom?" And Betty's like, "Who the fuck else could it be?" Because because
it's Alice.
That's very silly.
And
Alice would interrupt here, but
it's not Alice.
Not. Jughead goes outside to look. It's a gang of serpents, a gaggle of serpents. It's a mob of serpents.
And we do have the introduction of Hot Dog the dog, which I think is very big.
Hot Dog the dog. And Hot Dog the dog is there.
Hot Dog the dog is there.
Random serpent is like, Jughead, we know that your family's been going through a lot, and this is the moment that we're here to like help out. Like, your dad isn't giving random names because he knows that that's not what we're about here. Mm-hmm. So we're here to take care of you, son. You're here. You're a serpent, baby.
As Jughead shrugs on the South Side serpent jacket, and Betty is like in his shirt in the doorway, like, Juggy.
And he gives her a look, and he's like, "This is me, babes."
Mm-hmm.
Bum.
And well, if you thought Believer was over, oh, it's not. Thornhill is ablaze.
Thornhill is flames on the side of my face, heaving breaths. Penelope is crashing out in the background. She's tattered. She's throwing her hands at Cheryl, like pushing her hair around.
In time with the music.
Believer.
Exactly.
And so Thornhill is absolutely going to ashes.
And
Nana Rose?
I was going to say, where the hell is
she?
Nana Rose? Hope they wheeled her out. Hope she's safe.
Just to keep everyone calm between seasons, because I didn't have this luxury. Nana Rose is safe.
She is safe, and she will continue to slay.
But yeah, Cheryl
But how would we know that?
Cheryl burned down Thornhill? This is iconic behavior.
This is big time slaying.
This is Cheryl's fire motif.
Oh, it's staying. Archie and Ronnie presumably slept together.
Oh, not presumably. She's wearing his shirt from the night before, cuddled up. He's like discreetly trying to get dressed in the morning, and Ronnie's like, kiss and run, Archie Kens. And he's like, I was just trying not to wake you up, my diva. I have to meet my dad at Pop's.
For those infamous donuts that they have.
And Ronnie's like, come here, you big lug. And so they kiss again. And then Archie's off to Pop's for something that will change everyone's life.
Seriously.
Fred is there waiting.
Archie comes up. He's like, hang on, Dad. I gotta hit the John.
So he goes in. He's grinning. He just boinked Veronica.
And they've
Fred
solved
knows
all their
about
problems.
it. They've solved
They're
the murder.
so happy.
Fred is like, oh my gosh, I love that you're boinking Veronica. And Archie's like, I'm just going to peer at myself in this mirror, perched, and just live my life.
Like, I'm so happy. Finally, I feel like maybe I can breathe.
Believe Archie's there. But then
he hears a ruckus.
There's yelling out in the front of Pop's. He hears the door open, the little bell, tickling, tickling. There's a big noise coming out from the counter. Archie like pokes his head out of the bathroom. A man in a black mask with a gun standing on the counter holding up Pop Tate at gunpoint.
And it's like, whoa, okay, this got really dark really fast.
Oh my God.
And it's silent, by the way, in this. Like, the sound design of this is really good.
It's insane. It's like we're there.
Yeah. And
only diegetic sound.
Yes, and Pop is like, I'm gonna give you the money. Just like leave me alone.
Yeah. And so Archie looks to Fred. Fred looks back at Archie like, stay hidden.
He's like, do not try to be a hero right now.
Do not try to be a hero. Because Archie would. Fred stands up.
And he's like, hey, like, we can calm down. We can figure this out. Like, we can give you the money. Like, it's okay.
The burglar hops off the counter, points the gun at Fred.
Archie freaks out, runs in front of Fred, and we hear a gunshot.
We see a flash, and then we cut outside to see the Black Hood running away.
And by the way, this man is called the Black Hood.
Yes. That wasn't just a me thing.
Yeah,
that would be kind of weird.
Yeah, it's an actual name for him.
So the Black Hood is leaving Pop's. We heard a gunshot. We saw Archie run in front of the bullet. Was Archie just shot?
Fred was just shot.
He couldn't get in front of the bullet in time.
And Fred was shot, and we get the juggy narration on top as Pop calls for the police that this was the time where all the goodness that was left in Riverdale was crushed.
End of season 1.
Bam,
bitch. This is insane. This is season 1 encapsulated.
Is all of season 1. We made it through 13 episodes, 13 weeks.
Archie, surprisingly, out of the core 4, took the lead.
He did. Him saving Cheryl, it did a lot.
It did a lot. Veronica, Betty, and Juggy are all tied, which is kind of iconic.
It is iconic. Jug had finally caught up. It took him a while.
Finally catching up. It took him so long. Archie pulled ahead a good bit with that iconic Cheryl save. The shooting of Fred Andrews is something that will
seriously, it changes Archie forever. And it changes Riverdale the show
forever.
And the
like,
town.
All bets are off, I fear.
Mm-hmm.
Cheryl, the queen that she is,
she overtook it. She did it.
She won the season in
she
terms
did.
of numbers.
And also in terms of cultural impact.
Because the burning of Thornhill after the ice-capades, oh my God.
It was huge.
It was huge. That's where our core 5 is at.
Mm-hmm.
We dip down to our minor characters. Alice, obviously, this was no surprise at all. Alice won amongst the parents.
Yes, because to be honest, she has the most screen time, and it's also the most cunty screen time.
Oh, trust.
I keep saying scream time.
She didn't have anything from this episode, but she did have a lot of Betty mirror shots. So she's included. She's just under Betty's category.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Alice Sliving, of course. So actually, FP did get a good bit of screen time towards
Which
the end.
makes sense.
And honestly, kind of living for it. I'm sad to say, I feel like this is kind of the most Hermione will ever get.
Yeah, I don't really know how.
And that makes me sad because she's a diva.
She is a diva.
And where we're going to go with Fred, I don't know.
Yeah.
It really leaves us up in the air.
This whole season was around that one mystery.
Yeah.
And I feel like it is the tightest and most
Yes.
clean plot-wise that
Yes.
Riverdale will ever get. A lot of people bow out after season 1. We
Yeah.
won't.
Oh, we shan't. We didn't. And we're about to do it again.
So please, please stay tuned because it will be awesome. Cheryl's coming with a vengeance. Yep. Uh-huh. All you have to do is change the emphasis and, well, the meaning. It arises.
Ooh.
Ooh.
That's not the only thing. So